Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. We are going to wrap up our spring 2026 season discussion with this episode. It has been a long time since we have talked about some of these shows because we had a little break there, and then we did mostly preview shows last time. So it's been many weeks since we've talked about some of these things, but we're going to wrap some things up.
It took that long to sort out your technical problems from the last episode.
Yeah. So
that's right. That did happen.
The last time we had a full spring 2026 show was the one that I had my internet completely dropped and just happened to do it within the 2 to 3 hour time span that we record the podcast. Came back like 10 minutes after we were done, basically. So yeah. So far, so good, though. We are a minute into this podcast and no crashes.
There's going to be some crashes in this podcast.
I'm just dooming us at this point, right? Okay. Well, anyway, let's introduce everybody before we get into it. I'm Jel. I am joined by Iroh.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet, despite everything.
Still with us. We're joined by G.
Heartwarming news, everybody. Previously thought extinct species of anime girl found thriving in the wild once more in 2026, thanks to Studio Trigger's Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2.
Oh man!
Oh yes, I saw some of those designs are those are choices.
Yes, Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2 starring Sasuke Uchiha of the Uchiha clan and a girl with the biggest hair vents I have seen in the 21st century.
Yeah. Hey, I keep saying there's a whole retro vibe going on lately,
Like these are not hair vents. I would call these hair intakes. They
are attached to verniers on the back.
No, air intakes.
Vents not seen since I don't know the original Yu-Gi-Oh run or
Love
something.
Hina or something.
Yeah, not since the days of Love Hina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yugi's hair is not intake, so Yugi's hair is just a full heatsink on its own.
Yes. No, this cyberpunk girl that they've been showing, they revealed on their social media today has this chick can vent heat so quickly.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, being Trigger, there's a non-zero chance they actually have actual steam shoot out of her head, right?
Yes.
Look,
man, it's Cyberpunk. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
We'll save the rest of these bits for when we're actually previewing Edge Runners 2, which is a fall 2026 show.
That comes back around for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we are also joined by Zig.
Hello. Because everything in the UK happens like 2 months after the US, I went to see Angel's Egg.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's great in theaters, right? I don't know.
It was pretty good, but the absence of relatable isekai elements really dragged it down for me, honestly.
I don't know, that the boy shows up in an unfamiliar world. Who knows where he's from?
Yeah, but he's Christian. Who wants to project onto being a Christian?
I'm surprised you made it outside with the heat.
Yes, it has been a roaring inferno in the UK this last week. And by that, I mean it's like relatively average temperatures for a lot of the US, but we do not have the blessing of air conditioning here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, this is where I feel like I have to, do the most stereotypically American thing, right? Which is like, as always, I must ask, right? Like, because here's the thing: once upon a time, when these sorts of heat waves hit Europe, it was we haven't seen heat like this since the summer of '93 or something.
Right, since 1907.
Right, exactly. Not since before the war, but it's this hot every year. We just have to accept this, right? Like, this is just...
Kind of, yes.
This is just the new normal. It sucks shit, to be clear, but,
yeah.
What is, at this point now, the, impeding block that is preventing, much of Europe from adopting air conditioning?
I assume infrastructure.
Yeah, infrastructure and cost. Getting a house fitted for central air, not cheap. And also, like, the vast majority of these houses were never designed to be air conditioned, so
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, like, obviously, yes, obviously central air is very expensive. But I'll tell you, like, a lot of places in America don't even have central air, right? They have, like, window units or such, which are less efficient, of course, but they can at least make a room in one's house livable, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have window room units in my apartment because I live in a building made in 1905 or something.
Right.
There's but I totally get it though. Like, yes, 86 degrees Fahrenheit or something is tolerable here because we have air conditioning. I would be whining so much if I did not have air conditioning.
We were well into the 90s here.
Yeah, but even because those are temperatures that are even here I'm in where I'm at are like kind of normal summer temperatures, but we're if you've got the air conditioning, but if you don't, I can't I don't tolerate it at all. I will go somewhere with air conditioning if I don't have it. Yeah. So I don't know how you do it, but
I went to my dentist's for a checkup, and it was the most pleasant experience I had all week because that place had hella air conditioning.
You'd rather go to the dentist.
Absolutely.
Yes. So
anyway, hopefully the worst is over now until like next month, maybe.
Right. All right. Well, I'm glad you have not melted, Zig, and you're here with us. And let's get into our anime then. So, like I said, we are wrapping up the spring 2026 shows. We've already covered Dorohedoro last episode since that ended like a long time ago. Pretty much everything here except for, I think, Marriagetoxin is the only one that's not done yet. But we'll wrap it all up. So, to kick things off, we're going to talk about Go For It, Nakamura-kun.
I've heard there's been some problematic discourse about this show.
Oh, man. So, actually, if anyone remembers the episode I got cut off, I was about to get into the problems. The one episode that I think most people are calling the quote unquote problematic one.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, I barely even remember what happened at this point, to be honest. But it was mostly Nakamura-kun can be a bit of a creep.
See, now here's where I cite when this show started, you were like, I want this to be literally just an 80s rom-com, but he's gay, right?
Yes, so, that is a valid point. It is a different kind of creep, though.
And type of creep for the new millennium.
And in the particular episode, he also meets a fellow creep who is also into his crush Hirose that knew him from middle school, right? And they both are competing to see who is closer to Hirose and talking about all the stuff they've done with him and everything. And it's at some point it leads to Nakamura tries to sniff his gym clothes.
The classic.
And it turns out, the joke, it turns out it's to not be his gym clothes, but
oh no,
he was trying. And I think whenever the show goes into that territory, it always like corrects itself because then Nakamura like actually does feel bad about it, and he's like, I'm being a creep or whatever. But in this one, and he does do that here, but in this one they like double and triple down on it later because once the other creep guy shows up and they're having like their creep off competition, the other guy has Hirose's old gym clothes from middle school and pictures of him.
Where did you acquire those?
Well, because they went to middle school together.
But
still, yes, he shouldn't have his gym clothes. So, and at some point, Nakamura acquires the gym clothes from middle school and starts sniffing them with no remorse. It's a little weird.
A little weird, you say?
Yeah. And they kind of just never address that again ever. And I do think, to your point, Iro, maybe it is playing a bit into the
right
if the tropes that we are trying to copy from old
because
school
if it was Ataru, he would do it, but he'd be like Yahoo about it, right. He'd be hyped to sniff what Lum's middle school bra or whatever. Like,
but he would also probably get his lights punched out.
Yes,
there would be some consequences, which there are none in this situation. So, and I don't know, it does feel like I don't know. It is both. You're emulating a different time, but it is also a different time.
Yes.
Right? So I don't know.
Not everything from the old days needs to be emulated.
I'm so numb to anime pervs at this point that to me it was a very low blip on the radar compared to some of the things I've seen, man. Dragging my cigarette here.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Yeah, and that's probably the worst thing that happens. There's other little incidents where Nakamura is a bit stalkerish, maybe a little bit obsessive, but it's none of it really bothered me all that much. If it bothers other people, that's their prerogative, of course. So I would not hold that against anybody, but just for me, it didn't really bother me all that much. As far as the actual main content of the show, because we haven't talked for the second half of the series at this point. It continues to just be its usual up and down roller coaster of what stuff I like with the sort of genuine good old school rom-com, and maybe dabbling a little too much into the boys love meta commentary stuff. But it does. There's one thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was notable, and this might be going a little out of my depth. I might not be as necessarily qualified to talk about some of this stuff, but
give it the old college try.
I'm going to give just my observations that I found interesting and I think appreciated with the end product by the time we reach the final episode. So Nakamura-kun does take place in the boys love world where everyone is cool with gay people.
Right.
And therefore there is no open engagement with any of the sort of, I don't know, difficulties or challenges of being a gay person in reality.
To be fair, high school are famously tolerant location.
Right. So, and that's fine with the right context. If you're telling a story where you don't not every story about queer people has to involve suffering, and
yes,
it's fine to have a little bit of kind of fantasy or whatever, and that's what a lot of boys love stuff does, right? I speak as if I'm some kind of expert, but hey, you know what? I've actually watched quite a bit of boys love anime over the years at this point, so I've
you were on the front lines of Given,
So, however, I do think, and this could be me overthinking it, I do feel like the author sneaks in some things, and there were two specific things that I appreciated in the back half of this that I wanted to talk about. One was a great title drop. So there was
I do like a good title drop.
So there was, the episode was Nakamura finds out that his favorite, the author of his favorite boys love manga is doing a signing event thing, right? And of course he wants to go. And so, he goes by himself, and I don't think they openly say anything. And this is a credit to the director just for setting the mood appropriately. But you kind of feel there's some tension there because he's the only guy, because the boys love signing.
Right.
So he's just, surrounded by girls and stuff. And I don't think he ever says anything like, oh, I'm the only guy here or whatever, but you can kind of feel he's uncomfortable. And he finally gets up to get his manga signed, and the author's he talks to the author for a little bit, and the author kind of picks up, I don't remember exactly what they said, but he kind of picks up one of the reasons he likes the manga is because the main love interest reminds him of his crush, Arose, right? And the author kind of picks up on this. So when he signs the manga, he signs it, go for it, Nakamura-kun. And it's just very very sweet moment.
That's kind of cute, yeah.
And I think that is the kind of moment that I think puts this show a little. It makes me forgive some of my complaints and kind of puts it a little over the top, because it does have these kind of sweet moments. And even in the final 2 episodes, when you can tell when they're going serious, because they change the music, and for some reason it's always sunset. It's very wistful, pensive, and Nakamura is kind of locked in his own thoughts, and this happens in the last 2 episodes because his crush Hirose gets a girlfriend.
Damn.
And at first you're thinking, oh, this is a comedy. It's probably some kind of misunderstanding or something. And I knew it wasn't, because they changed the music.
Oh boy.
They changed the music. It was, always sunset for some reason.
Yep,
and
play the sad sob story music.
Right. I knew they were being serious, right? And so Hirose gets a girlfriend. And this is like absolutely devastates Nakamura-kun. And this is again where I think they kind of fit in. Like, yes, if your crush starts dating somebody else, you're going to be heartbroken. But I think they kind of imply it's also the like, oh, I might not ever have a chance because
our orientations may be incompatible.
Yeah, I mean, he might be forgetting that bisexual people exist, but either
By
way,
this voice, I had forgotten about bisexuality.
It's an all-timer, honestly. Yeah.
So, but yes, the implication is, he's not just devastated because Hirose is dating somebody, but he might be straight, right? I feel like, but he never says that. And I mean,
look, you never want to believe it about somebody you care for, but
right. And I think, and this again, I'm overreaching. Like, I might be overreaching because this is not my, like, I don't know what that feels like, right? But it's
being straight.
It's an interesting level of exploring that idea, and you can kind of tell because like, even what happens is in the next episode is Hirose then just gets dumped. So he was literally he was dating this girl for a week or two or something like that, and then she dumps him.
Did he get like catfished or something? Like, what's the?
No, it was just she was.
No, he doesn't have an identical twin brother.
They went out and she didn't want to date him anymore. So she said he was boring, which is pretty harsh.
Wow. On the other hand, like, considering what you've told us about him, that criticism seems like it might be justified, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't talked much about Hirose actually, which is a whole nother interesting thing. I mean, I might as well now, but he's you remember how I said the joke is Nakamura thinks he's a top, but he's not? Well, the other half of the joke is everybody thinks Hirose is a bottom, but he's not. So
sure,
it's kind of he's an interesting guy. He looks like the cute. He's kind of short, whatever, boyish looking guy, but he's actually like pretty like confident and whatever, kind of plays against the type that you would think. So I think he is actually kind of an interesting character, but perhaps to a high school girl, he might be boring. Anyway, so yeah, Hirose gets dumped, and even after he gets dumped, Nakamura is like, I've already committed myself to just moving on. Like, I can never be with him. Like, so I feel like there's little things like that in the mood that kind of imply that they are engaging with that sort of unique pain that he might be going through in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of, I was about to say a lot of boys love stuff, but honestly, a lot of romantic fiction in general just kind of assumes that the person you're crushing on shares your orientation. So the fact that they've brought it up in something that is ostensibly, meant to be this fluffy comedy romance I think speaks well to the writing, honestly.
Yeah, and they can't end on like that sad of a note. So after that happens, they kind of leave it a little more ambiguous, where Hirose kind of talks about how he wasn't kind of comfortable dating her anyway and stuff like that, which leaves the foot in the door, right? But
right,
and it ends with the man, I do still love Hirose, and we're gonna go on all kinds of adventures together after this, and that's where they
season
end, right? 2. Yeah, if they whether they ever get to season 2 or not, whatever. It's kind of the
adventure continues. Yeah,
right. The adventure continues, but yeah. I mean, it was a nice ending, though. I thought that was an appropriate way to close it out. Overall, I think it's been an up and down ride.
Yeah, I was going to say it seems like this show is mostly good and occasionally breaks out into being weird sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of highs and lows, and so I'm a little like shaky on the like, hey, you should definitely watch this scale, because even like if we're putting aside any kind of like weird stalkerish stuff or whatever going on. The humor is not always great. Like sometimes it's really funny, and then other times it's like, okay, we saw that joke coming from a mile away. It's I don't know. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I think the highs definitely outweigh the lows for me, and if it looks like something that appeals to you, it might be worth checking out. And I will say it does stay like beautiful throughout the whole series. Like the art style did a whole lot of heavy lifting on this.
Yeah, I still kind of just want to watch it for the 80s vibes.
Yeah, and the vibes are impeccable. Every ending song is a banger. They keep up the different ending song every episode for all 13 episodes. All the 80s nostalgia stuff.
Boys in music licensing are getting a bonus this year.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably like made by Sony or something, so they could get the Sony stuff. But yeah, I think like I said, if you look at it and read about it and it says, oh, you think that, I think that sounds good, I don't think you'll be disappointed if you watch it. If it's not really doing anything for you, then it's probably, I don't know if I'm going to make it a general recommendation, but I think the good outweighs
for fans of the genre.
Well, I guess I would just say that I don't think it's just like the boys love genre though.
Right.
If you like goofy anime rom-coms in general, then it's more that genre than specifically the boys love stuff, even though they dip into that pretty hard in some of the meta commentary at some points. But overall, I think it's a much broader appeal than that.
Okay.
Always appreciate something which tries something a little different, right?
Now that I've attempted my serious media criticism,
yes,
let's talk about Digimon Beatbreak.
Yeah, what was the last thing we talked about in Digimon Beatbreak?
What international crime have they committed?
Was it the Joker showed up?
That's right. Last time the Joker tried to bomb a hospital.
Which we were complaining that's a pretty mundane occurrence for Digimon Beatbreak, but what there's been a lot of episodes since then, so what's been going on?
The devil showed up.
Okay.
Mephismon, who has appeared occasionally, right? Elsewhere.
An inaccurately named Digimon, since it as a giant goat-headed demon, it's way more Baphomet coded, but we'll forgive them. Yeah,
Baphomet's a little less recognizable.
Yeah. They're still on this arc about the Digimon terrorists gift, who want to ensure a world where all Digimon will be equal, and to do that we'll let the Joker do 9/11 and basically assassinate a whole bunch of dudes.
It's right, they want to make the existence of Digimon public and undeniable, and part of that is letting Digimon do crimes.
Yes, for example, they attempted to bomb a power plant.
Yep, but they straight up they have canonically killed people.
Yes, quite a few people.
They referred to on screen Jokerbon serial murders.
But yeah, they seem to be bringing that to a head at this point, because they revealed that gasp. The mysterious girl who our hero has developed a bond with is in fact the head of the terrorist group. Who could have seen this coming? And also the terrorist group have kidnapped the chairman of the World Union, which basically seems to be the world government at this point. So they have kidnapped the president of the world and are holding him to ransom. And
yes,
yeah, that's kind of where we've left it. The show is on hiatus this week, but
right between seasons. Yeah,
yes, but yeah, it's fine. I think, like many long-running kids shows, the quality is wildly variable from episode to episode. I don't think that this arc is quite as compelling as the weird private army / human trafficking arc that they were in before. But, they're doing some stuff.
Yeah, I think this is falling into some of the pitfalls of you have a point, but also you're committing mass murder. type of storytelling.
This is the problem of all media in which like revolutionary politics are portrayed. You know, that you have a point, but you're going too far.
Yes. The girls Digimon evolved to ultimate form, and that ultimate form is just furry in gym shorts.
Well, okay, I mean, the spoiler, I was gonna say, like, so Wolvermon here, many podcasts ago.
I need visual aid. Yes, I recall this.
Many weeks ago, we discussed Wolvermon, and how I was like, is this going to turn into a hot lady or what? Or a robot? And you were like, it's going to turn into a lady because its special attack is called Tomboy Blaze.
Right, yes. So, I recall Tomboy Blaze.
I expected this to become a little... Because it's got the robot arms, the chew missiles and shit, I thought this would become a little more, like, robot cyborgy.
Mechanical?
No, instead it turns into this Bearcatmon, who is just... a buff lady in a tracksuit with rocket skates.
That, you know, I can't hate it, but also, there's, you know...
it's funny, because Kipmon turned into a fucking V1 Valkyrie. Like,
it kind of looks like this lady basically killed her previous evolution
and was wearing it
wearing its pelt as a trophy.
I guess Gabumon is out there.
Not an uncommon motif for Digimon, but yes, it is. Like, it is very striking that, like, the male members of the party get Cool Jet Fighter and Robot Dinosaur as their ultimate forms, and the girl gets Hot Furry Girl.
I mean, to be clear, I think that, like, we cannot pretend to keep being surprised by a franchise that does.
No, I mean, you guys called this. But you guys called this way back in the beginning.
I think my only, like, strain of disappointment is, you like it could still be a hot lady. Look, I'm not asking Digimon to change heaven and earth here, but you could like have leaned a little more into like the robot arms aspect.
Well, look, if this is where Garurumon, we still have a chance to get to Metal Garurumon.
Sure.
I mean, we still have one form.
What was this new Digivolution called? Bearcatmon.
Bearcatmon. Yes.
So you could get Metal Bearcatmon or Omega Bearcatmon or even like Undead Bearcatmon or whatever.
What was your theory of Digimon evolutions? There were three axes.
Yes, the triangle of furry mecha tokusatsu. And there's a sort of fuzzy area in the center of all three. That's the kaiju zone.
Yes, or if you want, the more derogatory version of the triangle is fridge gun hot woman.
Yep. Thing is, there's plenty of hot women, but there's also plenty of just like that's a common writer. Like,
right, of course. Yes.
Like we got like Stingmon. We got Justimon.
Yes, I was going to say the Digimon who are literally common writers.
Yes. But
I mean, I am still enjoying the show, but like, I would say at the moment, and I'd be interested to hear your take on this as well, Iro. But like, at the moment, I'm enjoying the show more for the like random wild shit that it pulls rather than the actual story. And I think in earlier story arcs, that balance was closer to 50-50, right? Like the wild shit and the like actually interesting story was kind of equal amounts here, and like it's I joked about it, but it really has not been hard to see that like the leader of the evil terrorist organization is the one new character they introduced. So I'm kind of ready for them to wrap this one up.
Like I think the weird paramilitary organization arc like worked better as the main plot because it was a bit smaller scale. Like these guys just kind of hated the main characters.
It also
we're being dicks about it, right?
It had more human faces to attach to here.
Right.
Like here we only really have what's her name, like the Miharu, who's like the head. We also should probably have talked about that episode where Kirotmon gets sniped in the head. That's kind of just water under the bridge at this point. Honestly,
what's the one called? Is it Larry Sealdramon?
I can't remember the names of these goddamn things, like it's impossible.
I don't remember. It's another one of the ones that's just like, that's a dinosaur with attack vest.
Oh, yes. I am more familiar with this, right? I think that
Seals Dramon.
Yes,
Seals Dramon, not Seal Dramon.
Who also showed up in the previous Digimon series and sniped a bunch of people there as well, including killing a named character.
Right. It's like, it was like at the beach episode, and then it turns out that in the abandoned town next to the beach, there are snipers shooting at them. Or something like that.
It's still a lot of fun, but like I think I'm ready for them to move on to something else at this point.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but like I'm enjoying it all. Yes, on mostly the level of like, what crazy shit are they going to bring out now, as opposed to
this is good fun to watch with people and a drink, like.
As opposed to necessarily being interested in like the story. Should we talk about Biharu's crazy backstory? Well, it's not that crazy, I guess. But
we should mention it briefly. Go for it. You do.
Sure. Yes, the cult leader girl. We get a brief glimpse into her dark past, which is that her sister had a Digimon, had Wizardmon, and one of the first
Wizardmon, thank you.
Wizard. One of the first to ever have a Digimon, and like tried to get the government to like, whoa, check these things out that we've discovered, and they basically like confiscated Wizardmon and gaslit her into being like, these aren't real. To the point where it's implied that she might have killed herself.
To call it a great man, it was really unclear, but there is at least a strong. She is dead, certainly, and there is a strong implication.
That's probably still a better fate than Wizardmon was dealt. I mean, that motherfucker was probably like vivisected alive by the U.S.
Oh no, he evolved into the devil.
Yes, he managed to escape, and yes.
Yes. So Wizardmon did nothing wrong.
Kind of, yeah. Except being the devil, obviously.
Well,
but...
Wizardmon, another one of those things of like, if you're our age, let's say, and watched the original show, like, seen any noted Mon from the original show, is always like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I know.
Right, like, there's like,
Wizardmon's
25,
an OG.
There's 25-year-old, like, attachment to, like, Wizardmon as a entity, despite it being not the same character, of course. But like,
I mean, don't worry, I'm fairly certain he's going to meet the same fate.
Oh, yes, but, Wizardmon, he jumped in front of Gatomon to take the hit.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Has Leomon been killed in this show yet?
Oh God. Did we talk about that episode?
No, that happened. Palette swap Leomon showed up.
Sure.
Like 3-player Leomon, and he did get killed.
Well, sure. That's all that really matters.
Yes. Panjamon, who is just white Leomon. Ice Leomon, basically.
Yes. Old traditions are being maintained.
Uh-huh.
It's probably a good thing they just gave him a different name instead of White Leomon.
I mean, trust me, everybody just calls him White Leomon.
Sure, yes.
Just like everybody calls the Purple Patamon.
I don't even remember
Tsukaimon is its real name.
Tsukaimon. Yeah.
But yeah, it's still fun,
Yes, I think at this point, I'm willing to say this is like the best Digimon show we've watched during the GLORIO era. Like,
wow,
right? I mean, not a lot of competition.
No.
If we're talking about stuff that actually
we're
talking about stuff that aired in the GLORIO era. That's not a high.
I mean, that's Ghost Game. That's Adventure 2020. That's
Atmon. God, I forgotten Adventure 2020 even existed.
There was Atmon. There were several movies, adventure branded movies, right?
Yeah. I would say that this is a good, fun kids show that occasionally does not realise the things that it is implying some of the time.
Yeah. That's good. It's like, yeah.
So is it like wrapping up another arc and starting another one now, or what?
That's what it seems to be.
I think we're in the last couple of episodes of this arc. They can't really de-escalate from here. So
okay.
So how many episodes do we have? Any? Yeah, people are People are saying, it'll be a 4-cour show, basically, is what people are saying. 49 to 52 episodes ish. Yeah.
All right.
So
the adventure continues then. Okay. Well, I'm gonna ready myself for this one here. Let's talk about Marriagetoxin.
Yeah. Your reactions over the past few days have been
what happened, man? What happened?
I think in some ways, hindsight is 2020, of course, but maybe
we should have seen it coming. Is that what you're going to say, G?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like you guys did say, this could go one way or the other.
Yeah, the stuff that happened, I guess, wasn't super surprising. So, all right. Let me just set the stage here. So, it's been we haven't talked about this for the entire second half of the show, basically, right? So, the first half of the show was kind of light and breezy, 2 to 3 episode arcs. We meet a new girl, he saves her, we move on, right? And then we had a one-off episode with the Bugmaster wedding, which was decent, I think. And that was the last time I think I felt any joy with this show. But so the entire second half of the series, they decide to go on a big extended battle shonen arc that somehow...
I mean, this is the thing, right? This is what I'm getting at, right? It's doing the thing that all shonen must eventually do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The Dark Tournament.
And it's like... It feels both somehow too long and too short at the same time.
Oh.
Because, like...
Yeah.
So what
happen, but nothing actually happens.
So what happens is... the next girl he has to save is a minor member of the Beast Masters, who all, every Beast Master has like one particular animal that they are a master of, right? And she's one of the lower members because her animal is the hamster, which is used to various comic effect. She's also smoking hot. I will give the show credit.
Okay.
I will give the show credit. There's a lot of like really
smoking.
We'll get to about that later. No, just metaphorically speaking.
Look, I feel like
the show does have a lot of hot women. I'll give them that.
Yes. Like not to belabor the point, but
how problematic are they?
They're fairly problematic.
Some
maybe not enough.
It's a spectrum. It is certainly a spectrum, but the show definitely. Look, like, anime being anime, I feel like we as a group do not often remark on this, right? Like, we are not that crowd, right? But, like, there are definitely times in this show, and the thing is that the show is not even, like, that, like, lascivious,
No, it's not really that fancy. Like, the designs are kind of over the top, but they're not, like, shoving cameras down people's throats.
I'll say this artist knows ball, right? Like that. I will say
he's got game, huh?
Yes, like definitely, like this artist, like was capable of getting me, someone who has watched anime for as long as I have, to go like awooga wolf eyes a couple of moments. I was like, holy good god.
Okay, she's got the sharp Tsuribe eyes. Like
yes. We were talking about Kimie Arashi.
Yeah, I'll pull up an image here.
Yeah, and she's
no, Eero, that's White Leomon.
Yes.
But
no judgment.
Yeah, so shout out to women again.
As always. Does she ever put on these glasses that are hanging between her cleavage, or are they simply a fashion accessory?
There's a very dumb reason for that, but there's a very dumb reason why she has those glasses. She does not wear them. Okay, so as to specifically why this arc is bad, there's many reasons. Part of it is following a lot of just the like most basic shonen ass formulas of like the main dude like literally having like Kaioken, I don't know, man.
There's the whole oh no, he's spending his life force for a Zenkai boost.
Because he's got his he's got his special poison that he injects to make him super strong and fast.
But it eats away at his life.
No. Well, he's fine with like 1 dose, but then he goes for 2 doses. And then when he gets really pushed in the final fight, he has to go for 3 doses.
It's like Kaioken times 20.
Yeah, it's like Kaioken 5, Kaioken 20. Yeah, pick whatever power up you want.
If you use the 3rd Chidori, you have to activate the curse seal.
Right, yes. Pick whatever your favorite shonen power.
I have no idea if that's something real, but sure, it sounds okay.
And I think like the thing that really starts to become a problem with like this arc especially, right, is just like, so, right, we introduced this pink-haired girl, blah, 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 like, she's worried because, like, Beastmasters are... It doesn't even matter, it's just that Beastmasters are being kidnapped and assassinated, and she's trying to get to the bottom of it, and then what we find out is, oh no, actually, it was the Beast Clan all along. The Beastmaster, like, leader of the Beast Clan is... abducting Beastmasters and sucking out their blood to pour into a like super beast chimera, the ultimate life form, blah blah blah.
Yes.
And oh no, pink-haired girl gets kidnapped, and now it's the pink-haired girl rescue arc.
If the whole thing is like she's like the shitty one because she only got hamsters, and they still want her blood to make the ultimate life form.
Well, no, because they explained they kidnapped her because we know that you Garo are such a good guy, because actually what he really wants is his blood.
Oh,
right?
I see.
Because his blood is so.
He's one of the 5 masters, the 5 great masters.
I see.
The great families, yes.
And and
she's bait more than anything.
Exactly, right? And so then it's like this girl that gets introduced who's like legitimately quite like, I mean, she's like basically like her archetype is like, a blowhard who is using confidence to mask like deep-seated insecurities.
Yes.
Like, it's that style of character, right? And
yes.
To the show's credit, I think I found her to be quite charming, even past just like, wow, she's hot.
Yes.
And then she's kind of out of the arc for like
just
more
throw
than
her
half of it,
in
right? Because she just gets thrown in a prison cell, right? And it's like, oh, okay, and this is the longest arc, and so
gotcha.
And then there's just a lot of like, even if it's played to humor, like there's a lot of like, you may have defeated the Ostrich Master, but you defeat us, the Koala Clan.
I will give them a little credit. So yes, a lot of this episode is just straight up battle action, fight whatever beast masters in front of you this week. I do think the recurring gag of off-screening some of the lesser ones was kind of funny.
It is funny, but I think it's
not quite enough. But like, when the Koala Masters show up and they get off-screened, or like
that is
the Sloth funny, Masters or something, it is pretty funny.
Right? It's like, but I think it's just like the joke goes on too long, and then it stops being a joke; it becomes serious, right? Like by the end of this arc, they want you to take this fight seriously. They want you to be like. They expect you to be invested in the outcome of this fight, when that has never been
not for 1 second
the prerogative of this
show.
What
was happening,
Like, and the thing is, we noted all of this when he fought the Soundmaster in the previous arc, where it's like, oh, this is no longer funny. This is just a regular ass shonen battle. But that arc was at least had the decency to only be like 2-3 episodes long. But
and that part was only like 1 episode, right? So it was just like we got in and got out, right? Yeah, and it doesn't help. The main bad guy is the worst. Like,
sucks. Yeah.
He's like, I was trying to figure out how to explain him. He's like he should have been voiced by Kenjiro Suda.
Maybe
but on top of that, he kind of talks like Kenjiro Suda for like 50% of the time, and then like the other 50% of the time he's just screaming at the top of his lungs.
He's kind of doing the evil fuckboy kind of like archetype of villain.
A little bit. Maybe
like sleazy braggadocio, kind
pathetic.
And it's I don't know. Yeah,
and he's just like screaming half the time because he's so enthusiastic about collecting blood, and it's like I don't just shut up. I don't want to hear it.
Look, I don't want to cast aspersions on anybody's hobby, but sometimes people are not interested in what you're doing for your kicks.
Yeah, but yes, there's that, and then there was bits that's like, gee, what the hell was up with the girl and the panda? Not the panda, the polar bear.
Oh yeah, I guess it's.
All of the Beastmasters are like they have like a certain animal that they train with, and like they can like control them and communicate them with or whatever. But it's them and like the animal. It's pretty normal. We run into this girl at the end that can like pilot a polar bear like a mech suit.
Hell yeah.
I think it's
which sounds cool, but
right, but it's like the animal's dead, right? It's like she's piloting the corpse of,
and it just kind of like comes out of nowhere, and they even like they hammer in like 5 minutes for like also, tragic backstory.
This show is rotten with tragic backstories that like don't matter, and like
we didn't even talk about the white hair guy.
It's like Drebin calling in every episode.
Well, it's almost like that, or a combination of that, and like for those of you who've played the Yakuza games, it's like when they play the theme of sad sub story, like, but to that one, but like the fact that even the Yakuza developers themselves have now acknowledged that playing that song is funny.
Yeah,
like
there's zero hint of irony here. Right?
It's just a very messy arc, and like
we didn't even talk about the random like white hair guy that shows up for some reason.
Yeah. So like,
who's like he's like this super strong dude who's not a master, but he has power, like very vaguely defined powers that are just basically like he loves his hot girlfriend, I guess.
I mean that to me screams of we are setting up the next set of villains.
Right.
No, but yeah. So he shows up trying to kill everybody, and then after like 10 minutes, he's like, "Oh, I guess you guys aren't bad. I'm going to fight with you now." And then he's one of the main party now, and then I don't know. I don't know why he was there. Like, what did he accomplish?
Yeah.
Oh, he held off the main bad guy for like a few minutes.
I think not to like get into like every detail. I think just the top down issue with this last arc of Marriagetoxin is it's very messy, right?
Yes.
They introduce a lot of characters, and none of them really seem to justify their staying power. And I don't know. It's just like very, very little of it also adds to like the stakes of like what is, because like obviously Marriagetoxin mostly a comedy, but I think like the things that were like maybe sort of interesting about it, like on a slightly deeper level, right, is that like Garo is doing these things in a like desire to like reclaim a lost sense of humanity, right, like a sense of like I want to be normal, right, like I want to do normal people things, right, and what he is fighting for is like an attempt to like be something he has never been his entire life, right?
Right.
And I think it's just a lot of this stuff just kind of flies out the window once it just becomes, can he survive going Kaioken 5X this time?
Yeah, right. Like, it has nothing to do with the direction we're headed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess. I think that's why I was kind of saying, on one hand, it feels too long because I'm not enjoying what's happening, and there's just too much of it, but then also like you're introducing all these characters that are severely underbaked that we're supposed to care about, right? And everything's out of balance, everything's out of whack, none of it works.
And it's just one of those things of like I think there's like one episode left, right? And
yeah,
even if they announce a season 2, it's like, I mean, the problem with this type of arc, right, is it kind of poisons the well, because you kind of now know, like in your gut, oh, these arcs are only going to get longer, and they're only going to get more involved, right? Because that's just the nature of shonen, right? Shonen arcs don't get shorter, right? Like after Soul Society arc, Hueco Mundo isn't shorter, like like these, the way shonen inflation works, right? You thought I wouldn't be able to slip in a discussion on the state of shonen into this podcast, guess again, right? But like the nature of shonen, especially like of the like weekly Shonen Jump style variety, like
it must escalate.
It must always escalate, right? The stakes must always get higher. Like, here's the thing: it's not that I don't think that. Like, here's the thing: if you tell me no, Marriagetoxin has like more episodic arcs again, or there's like a really good chapter where so and so and hang out, right? It's like I believe you, like I totally do, but I know in my heart of hearts that like these types of stories can never walk this back, right?
Yeah,
like
Pandora's box has been opened, whatever metaphor you want to use, right?
Yes.
It's yeah, and there is one episode left, but at the end of the latest episode, they've defeated the head of the Beast Clan, and then his sister shows up and is like, I am the new head of the Beast Clan.
It's like it is literally that, like, yes, like to go all the way back to the original, right? This is literally like Kenshiro beating a dude halfway through a chapter, and literally within the same chapter he beats a dude, a new dude shows up that's like, but you see, I was his older brother and the real master of the so-and-so.
And I'm 10 times
like
more
Nanto
powerful.
Seiken or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, how many Nanto Seiken users are there, right?
We're not even out of this arc yet, is what I'm saying. Like,
right.
It's gonna, I don't know, man.
You do not sound very enthusiastic.
No, I mean, yeah. I think, like, no amount of, like, utterly ludicrous ass shots could, like, keep Joe, you know the one I'm talking about, right? Like when the Watermaster lady shows up, like that shot's like almost. I was like, I mean, look, she's fully clothed, but I was like, is this allowed? Like, good God.
Especially because this show's usually not doing stuff like that. Usually, like, every now and then they'll sneak something in, but like
this fucking low angle camera panning shot, man. I was like, God damn, I didn't know she had all that.
Did you say panning or panty?
Panning.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in like a full like bodysuit thing, right?
I'll just post.
But it is very clear.
Google. I was like.
This is a
anyways,
Lee shot.
Point is, no amount of shots like this is gonna be able to save this show. I think like, look, you had a good.
This is a freaking one Punch Man panel.
It's disappointing because I feel like we didn't. While it's not terribly shocking they went in this direction, this isn't what I feel like this isn't the bill of goods I thought I was sold in the beginning of the show.
Right.
I could see like dabbling, because every show dabbles in a battle shonen at some point, I feel like, but like, and I could see that coming, but we've just totally taken over in this half. It doesn't seem like it's ending anytime soon.
I mean, it sounds like you guys were way more into the show as a comedy than as like an action.
Yeah, and it was mostly a comedy when it started in the first half of the show. So like,
and I mean, that's the other thing, right? It's like,
it's not like we were just hoping it would be a comedy, right? It was a comedy,
right? Yeah. And it's not just a shift in genre. It's also, it was a much better comedy than it is a shonen,
right.
So like, because here's the thing. Look. I may rail against the current state of shonen literally every episode of this podcast. I'm still watching Yomi no Tsugai, I'm still gonna watch like whatever, the next season of Chainsaw Man or whatever, right? Like, it is not that I am too good for shonen, but Marriagetoxin is not a very good one of these.
Yeah, it doesn't even do it well to begin with. So,
who does anymore, really?
Again, we'll talk about
it. Two guys, I guess, yeah.
There's ways you can engage with the formula that are still,
of course,
good, right? Yeah. So it's just a big disappointment for me. Okay, so I'm not sure things get much better on the next show. I probably yes, but let's talk about Nippon Sangoku. I will say this might have ended up being, do I want to say, the most interesting show I was watching this season?
It seems to be the most ambitious, at least.
Definitely not the best. But I was starting to at least wonder what was going to happen. And, it just continued to tease you with stuff we like as far as the, political intrigue and warfare bits of it.
What if we spent a whole episode explaining our grand plan to solve the problem?
Well, let's build up to that, right?
Yeah, so, right. Go ahead, G.
The back half of Nippon Sangoku has been about the conflict between Yamato and Sei, right? 2 of the 3 of the titular Sangoku, yes, and about the charismatic warlord Oga Wajima leading her Sei troops, down south to invade Yamato, right? And the question being, Yamato in its weakened state with its corrupt government, with its collapsing infrastructure, can it maintain its position of strength despite its, multitude of internal feuding, right? And, that's an interesting premise. It's quite similar to the premise of perhaps one legendary 1988 science fiction OVA.
I mean, it's also fairly similar to the plot of Kamen Rider Build, so...
Sure, I believe it, But anyways, and, so we have, had our issues with how much this show is about, let me introduce a, blubbering straw man to be rhetorically broken over the knee of facts and logic. And, how predictable that bit starts to become. And, as the show started shifting into overt warfare, which, to be clear, is no different than much of the stuff we've already seen. As we all know, war is diplomacy by other means. But that maybe here in the, realm of the military, maybe Nippon Sangoku could find some interesting ways to express that. And the unfortunate answer is no, not really. This arc kind of suffers from, I would say, a sort of death by 1,000 cuts situation. On the Yamato side, they are to be, they're being led and defended by, the Borderland General Ryumon, the superior who hired our protagonist, right? And this sort of legendary, career soldier war hero, right? Who is a great military man, but, his great flaw is he is too loyal to the apparatus, right? And will not take moves to address the internal corruption that is hollowing out the nation he made an oath to serve, right? And so, he is fighting a war both from behind and in front. And, in this framing, that, he's outnumbered, he's outgunned, he doesn't have the support, what could he possibly do? And the answer is he, like one Zhuge Liang, courtesy name Kong Ming.
Your boy.
He's going to invent the wheelbarrow?
He plays his lute. He plays his proverbial lute. He does the open gate stratagem, the apocryphal legendary moment in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the sort of crowning moment of Zhuge Liang's military genius, the open gate stratagem in which he opens the gate of the fort he has been tasked to defend and plays a musical instrument seemingly alone. And the story goes that the enemy general, who at this point was well and very familiar with the reputation that preceded the legendary tactician, concluded, this is not just a lone unarmored man playing an instrument in the opened gate of a heavily fortified military fortress. This is part of his master plan, his genius tactics that I cannot even begin to comprehend. Sure, he may look completely defenseless, and it would be so simple to decapitate.
He just wants me to think that.
He wants me to think that. And I will not fall for his trick. And so I will command my army to retreat and not attack this fort any further. Of course, the reveal being that the fort was on the collapse of falling. It was understaffed, undermanned. The men were on the verge of starving. And it would have taken but one simple push for the siege to end. And the story's often held up as, what a genius that your boy Kong Ming was, right? The thing that's frustrating here, everybody in universe knows this story. They name drop it. They say, wait, that's Zhuge Liang's, by God, that's Zhuge Liang's music. That's the open gate strategy.
Yep. But they're like, but maybe this time.
Right. So and then they do
maybe this time it's real.
You know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that you know, and it's
there's so much of that going on here, and everybody knows like the main kid Aoteru gets hard every time he quotes Sun Tzu, right? Like he's it's I think it's part of the problem of the like he's setting up the author's setting up characters for like these big grand moments of genius, but then doesn't have
and
moments of genius other than borrowing from like some of the history stuff.
And
but
this is the big problem about this that Iro was alluding to earlier is the characters look at the camera and say, that's probably the open gate stratagem. The characters look at each other and say, you are likely performing the open gate stratagem. There is
it goes to their inner monologue as they consider that perhaps the open gate stratagem might be being performed in front of their eyes.
Yeah.
And then there is no twist. The reveal is, yes, it was indeed the open gate stratagem. Ryumon had no shooters in the darkness. He had no reinforcements hidden under the bridge.
Yep.
He was just doing the open gate stratagem. There's no subversion. There's no surprise. Functionally, the characters look at the camera, explain their plan, and then the plan simply plays out. And this kind of reaches its most egregious zenith at the climax of the war, where Aoteru's big contribution to this war effort is he does his ultimate facts and logic, right? Because
this is single-handedly the worst thing that happens in the entire series.
Yes. So basically, the idea is that it was intentional on the Taira clan and the sort of dominant faction of the Yamato political entity to leave Ryumon in a weak enough position that he would be forced to request reinforcements, who of course would come from the Taira faction, thus sort of destroying his reputation as a military commander.
Either that or he simply dies on the front lines. Right?
Or he dies on the front line. Yeah. Either way, it works for them. And so Aoteru has to convince the Emperor and the Tairas not to send reinforcements and to, in fact, tell Ryumon to retreat so that he can be given the rhetorical out needed to perform his like fake retreat plan, right? And the problem here is that we're dealing with Denki Taira, a sort of like petty criminal warlord like despot who like is shown multiple times to have zero qualms whatsoever with simply using physical violence to achieve his political aims. And that this is not just like cloak and dagger in dark alleys. I mean, he is literally like
I snap my fingers and have my goon shoot a guy. Like,
literally, like they do not have a Congress in this world. But imagine if like literally, look, give it another 2 years. Literally imagine if like, you know, fucking Mitch McConnell could like snap his fingers and like the police would run in and just gun down AOC. Like.
Well, that's super unrealistic. Mitch McConnell can't snap his fingers without them breaking.
No. Let's hope it stays that way. But the point being, right? It's like this is not just a like he's doing it in the secrets in the darkness where no one can catch. He is literally killing opposing politicians in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Like
in front of everyone.
So, with no consequence, with no pushback whatsoever, right? Like to communicate to you that he holds the true reins of power. And yet, for some reason, he never does this to Aoteru. Yep. Some reason, every time
he's just too damn smart. His facts are irrefutable.
Smart. You know, like his facts and logic are so irrefutable.
Yep.
Oh, I can't decapitate him here.
Oh my god! And like, go ahead, G. I'll let you finish.
No, you go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like that whole scene is like. Again, trying to make Aoteru look like some kind of genius. He walks in and he's magician. Like, I don't remember the exact dialogue, but it was something to the effect of like, you know, I've arrived to request reinforcements from the Emperor. And they let him in and they're like, oh, so you want us to send reinforcements? He's like, no, I didn't say to send reinforcements. I said I wanted to request reinforcements. And everyone's like, oh, what does that mean? Like, and it's like, it's like just, it's all like based around his like the semantics of how he's saying his words or whatever, right? And it's
and I guess the problem is that here's the thing. I can understand a world in which like, especially in Japan, of course, right, where semantics and wording is everything, right? Like, I can understand the logic of, oh, he's caught us in a rhetorical trap because of the particular nature of how our society is structured. Right. But again, we are shown a character who explicitly does not care about subtext or semantics.
And it happens multiple times where Denki Taira would have cut his head off, and he just doesn't for whatever reason. It's not even really clear why. I guess if we look at what happens in like the final episode, maybe he was like, all right, well then I'll just, kind of change my plan a little bit.
It was all part of a grander Keikaku.
But still, he could have saved himself a lot of trouble to just cut the kid's head off. And why he didn't do that, who knows? Other than he plot armor,
right? Because it's also to be clear, Aoteru has no real political capital. He has no clout, right? In the court, he does not have his own shooters. He does not have his own faction, right? At this point,
he's like an accountant, basically.
He's a minor bureaucrat.
Yeah,
and the show simultaneously takes great pains to remind you, he is but a humble bureaucrat, but also we can't touch him.
He's such a genius,
and and this all then culminates in because he gets the approval to allow Ryomon to retreat. He gets to perform his mega super genius Tensai military Keikaku. And look, to be clear,
which is send my friend to tell you to retreat.
Yes,
that's his master plan.
I mean, the time-honored problem with portraying someone as a military genius is you have to actually be a military genius to make it real.
Yes,
I forgot the part where they lure them into the canyon to drop cars on them.
Yes, thank you, Zig. That's what I was basically about to get at. Right? Yeah. Is look, I understand, right? Your average writer is not a once-in-a-generation military genius. Even my beloved Legend of the Galactic Heroes, I would say, with full clarity, Yang is a by-the-books above average military tactician, which by the standards of fiction puts him in the 1%.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of the time, being an incredible military commander in fiction is just having some notion of common sense, right?
Yes. Right. And so that does put Young admittedly in the top 1% of fictional military leaders, but you look at it with a clear eye, and he's basically just using the playbook of well-established people, much smarter people who did stuff like this in the past, right?
The guy who reads 3 chess books is better at chess than the guy at chess club who played chess every day.
Yes, yeah. And so to be clear, I grade military tactics in fiction on a curve, right? The problem here is the same problem that we talked about earlier. Ryomon explains his plan. We're gonna retreat, but it's gonna be a fake retreat. And in fact, we're gonna retreat to this seemingly inescapable chasm, right? Where they'll think that we have decided to hold up here in a honorable last stand, but actually,
it's they'll catch up to us here. It's oh no,
yes. But actually, we'll have set up a bunch of rusted cars from before the apocalypse on the top of this chasm, this cliff, and we'll push them over the edge on top of the army pursuing us.
Killing tens of thousands
so this is a multi-pronged issue.
Like a dozen cars.
Go ahead, Zig, first of all.
I was just going to say, basic tactics 101 then.
So this is a multi-pronged issue with the show.
Yes.
It's one of the very first things I learned about writing, very early on, was if the plan works, the plan was a spoiler.
Yes.
Right. So they spend a whole ass episode explaining this plan, and then the plan simply goes off without a hitch in the first 5 minutes of the next episode. Right. And so it's what was the fucking point?
Right. There's a reason why in heist
I was literally about to say a heist movie where everything goes right.
The plan is explained.
Either something goes wrong, or a key component of the heist is not described on screen.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah, the big twist is something that is supposed to hit the audience as well, basically.
Yes,
right. So there's that problem, and then as Gel was alluding to, this dumping a bunch of cars into this canyon kills 10,000 people.
10,000 of a 15,000 strong.
And so,
army.
And this is
these cars inflicting a greater casualty rate than some of the bloodiest battles in World War II.
Hey, maybe they're Teslas.
Yep. And so this is this thing that I've been saying about this show for quite a while. I don't remember if I've said it on tape on the podcast, but like this show's grasp of tactics and like how the maps move and troops move is very video gamey to me. Like the way that yes, there are 15,000 troops on this square, and the event occurred where we dropped the cars, which just deals a flat 60% damage to all units on this square. Therefore, 10,000 units have been killed.
It feels very like Paradox Games' conception of
like there are 10,000 units here and there's 5,000 units here, and as one turn passes, this unit can move onto the same square as the 10,000 units, and they combine into the 15,000 unit block.
Yes,
which then walks into the canyon where
So yeah. Sorry.
Basically, yes. Just like, so this entire climactic crux of like the war that's been going on for half to 2/3 of this season, that's been the whole thing, like, is stripped of all meaning because we know what's going to happen, and also like it is effective beyond all bounds of logic.
And also, like, it then gets into the other problem, right? Of like, so a lot of this last arc spends its time on Ogo Wajima, the female warlord leading Sei, and about how her own struggles and her own conflict with the burden of leadership, right? And how she is willing to do the hard things to keep her army together. And she is portrayed as a charismatic and, in theory, like, intelligent leader. She's not very smart if she just falls for this plan. Like, because she gets duped by both of Ryumon's strategies, so there is never any sense of back and forth, right? Like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, could you say Yang Wenli is a superior military leader to Reinhard? Yes, but also, it's close. Like, that, like, it's almost a coin flip.
Yang is often losing the strategic victory to the tactical victory due to lack of resources.
And that's what makes it interesting, is that back and forth, right? Like, because...
Yeah, it is a long game where each side is scoring points, but never the complete victory.
Yes.
I don't think Wajima ever wins a single decisive victory in this war, and so it just makes her look stupid.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one that makes the call when Ryumon's on the bridge, right? Like, it's and then she gets like casually off-screened in the end, right? But,
right, and so it's just like, So you look at all this, and so it's like, it's not only was it like a bad portrayal of like military tactics, it was a bad portrayal of leaders, and it was an uninteresting conflict. But because of all of these factors, and also the thing we haven't even talked about, which is at the very end of the last episode of this season, Denki Taira just does the thing we said he always does, which is after Ryumon returns victorious, he's like, fuck it, and just arrests them.
Yep.
Like, it just gins up fake treason charges.
He does a false flag.
And then just has them all arrested or executed. So he just does the thing.
He could have done that at any time.
For the record, I could have done this at any time.
So it really leaves you in this place where, at the end of the last episode where Aoteru is in prison, right? He's he's been brought to his lowest point, right? He's further from his plans of revenge against Taira than ever before, but he still has that glint of a tensai in his eyes.
He's got the will of fire, whatever the fuck.
Yes, like he hasn't given up yet. He has yet another plan, and that's where it ends. And that's where it ends. And it really makes you look at the last like half of the season and ask, what was any of this for?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, because the tactics and stuff, like, you can forgive that if it's
compelling. Look,
if there's like a means to an end, right? Like, or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Like, if there was a point to
there's a narrative payoff, like,
right? If there was a narrative payoff to the dumb drop cars trick on him, I don't care if the cars kill 10,000 people. It's not important, right? Like, but stuff like that adds up, and then again, like, what was the point of any of this? Everything kind of goes back to where it was. Denki Taira does what he was going to do anyway. Right. On top of that, I don't really particularly care about the cast at all. I've never warmed up to Aoteru. I still hate him. And I found the Sei story slightly more compelling, but even then, it's like, the whole thing where she had to kill her strategist guy to make everybody think she's smart or something. I don't know, or it was
right. Yes,
just like felt like a waste of time.
To maintain her leadership over the troops after making the bad call with
Like we spent like
we
spent like an episode and a half on that, and it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just so frustrating because the pieces are there, man.
And like
the pieces are there,
and like even if it never quite hits the same like aesthetic highs of that first episode, this is still a really neat looking show. I like the art style. I think it's cool this show doesn't look like most other anime. I like that a lot of this cast are like leathery old men,
I love the like sort of anachronistic when we meet what's the third nation,
Budo.
We see their emperor at the end, and like everyone's just like in business suits, but then like Yamato's got like this
because they had like Yamato's in Osaka, they've got Tokyo, right? So like,
right,
of course they've got
the emperor's like in his like full on makeup and everything in Yamato, but then like in the other place, it's just a guy in a suit, right? Like that sort of anachronistic thing, kind of playing with that is really cool.
It's always fun when you mash up aesthetics next to each other, right?
and like just like the pieces are there for like a compelling military drama, political drama, whatever, and it just does not come together. So
it's
it's a shame. Like again, I don't want to like costly just big. Oh, I don't like it because it's not as good as Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Like that's an unfair comparison, of course. But I think even trying to approach this show on its own terms and in terms of the things it is trying to accomplish, I just don't think it succeeds. Like for the most part.
Well, I've seen unofficial confirmation of a scene to Sin 2. I could not find.
I believe they have.
It's been confirmed. Yeah. I think.
I feel like if you end on a cliffhanger, you're pretty confident.
It ended in a place where it needs to have a season 2.
Almost certainly, yes.
Right.
And I might still watch it. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. Look, maybe if D&T comes back, then we'll...
yeah.
Right. And it's complaining about other people is something I don't want to do, but yes, I've seen a fair amount of like buzz about Nippon Sangoku as like, wow, what a like amazing like intelligent show, like handling like complex topics, and I'm like,
are they?
Right. That like that's what I think, and then I'm like, well, how many people have watched the legendary 1988 science fiction OVA Legend of the Galactic Heroes? I guess
I don't know.
Like my standards might be skewed. I don't know. I'm trying to.
I feel like
I'm trying to
really
extend price.
I feel like a hallmark of bad criticism is this media talks about or this media mentions complex ideas, therefore it must have complex ideas.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of that.
I think that's
well said.
Yeah, I think Zig's got it there. Where yes, there are complex topics that come with the show. They don't have anything to say about them, but they are there. So I guess you could, if you're not
when. After we watched the last episode, G and I went on a long tangent on our call where we looked up where Legend of the Galactic Heroes was at the same episode count, and then went into like a 20-minute discussion of the like potential historical vectors that the world of Legend of the Galactic Heroes could have taken based on the outcome and etc.
Where were they?
It was the Lipstadt League.
Oh yeah.
If there is a season 2 of this, I'm going to ban mentioning Legend of the Galactic Heroes during it and see how that affects the discourse.
I genuinely, because hey, I haven't brought it up that much.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think all of our criticism stands, whether you have the curse of watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Instead, we can compare it to
you mean the legendary 1998 OVA series?
Yes, I don't have the full thing memorized on G, but yes.
Instead, we can compare it to the
award-winning MMORPG Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
the SR 1995 war, the Belgian War, where
All right.
Belka blitzed across the
Okay, now we need to stop.
Now we
Now we
need
need
to
to stop.
All right.
No, this is just better for me. Go, keep going.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens if and when it comes back. But yeah, disappointing. Okay, so let's move along to Hat Atelier. Is this done?
What if a show had... Well, Jel, let me paint a picture for you. What if a show had an even more boneheaded cliffhanger than Don to Don?
Oh, no. Oh, no. All right.
Yeah, this show ended with a god about to be sexually assaulted in a pool.
Okay, that's the part that puts Don on top.
All right, tell me what happened.
Content-wise, it is less egregious. I think narratively,
yes.
It is more egregious.
Yes.
I was way more outraged at this one than the Dan one.
So basically, we are look, Ira and I were as manga readers, we're discussing as you know, for the last few episodes, we were like, they're spending a long time on the colorblind episode. I don't know, we're gonna have enough time to finish this.
I feel like you have been warning of this outcome for quite a while at this point.
Well, so yes, it's true. The arc we are the anime is currently on and will continue to be on indefinitely until a season 2 is announced. Is the second Mage Apprentice exam that of the apprentices of Kiefer's apprentices, Agot and Riche have been enrolled in, I guess, right? And
yes.
This is typical YA fiction stuff, right? It's like, okay, the apprentices must accomplish a task on their. It's Chunin exams, look. We all know what's going on here. You got to accomplish a task, and it's gonna.
You got to go into the forest of death, and you got to get the Earth Scroll and the Heaven Scroll, and then maybe Orochimaru is skulking around, and
right. This
steel, and
there are some ridiculously arbitrary restrictions.
You will enter this curated exam that is meant to test your abilities,
but
and
an outsider is there.
We have no outsiders will interrupt you. This test has been very carefully curated to match the appropriate skill levels of the young and vulnerable students who will be going into this alone.
Oh no! Where did this outsider come from?
I will point out that, in keeping with all of these situations as well, even before the outsider shows up, this thing is ridiculously deadly and could instantly kill you, as opposed to
you could even say that about Coco's original test, right, to get the flower.
Right.
I mean, I kind of assumed that Agot's plan was to let her die in that thing.
Yes,
honestly,
almost quite literally.
Yes.
And that's why Agot rules.
But and so this arc is kind of I mean, it all sort of comes together, but it is kind of operating on multiple levels, right? Because Agot and Riche are the two of Kiefer's apprentices who are here, along with Yuini, an apprentice from a different master. And sort of all three are sort of different expressions of the ways in which the magic world has, left its mark on the youth, right?
Yep.
Agot is...
The way our schooling system has failed the neurodivergent individual.
The wide variety of child abuse that takes place in this world.
Yes.
Kind of literally, right? Yes, you have Agot, who is, we don't know her whole deal, at least in the anime, but, she has a great deal of insecurity about her perceived place in, the witching world, right? A sense that she is not, that she is not living up to the standards she has imposed upon herself.
I mean, she is the classic wants to grow up quickly, right?
Yes. Riche is sort of the opposite. She is, very neurodivergent coded, though again, never explicitly, mentioned one way or another, but she is someone who is very comfortable with the types of magics that she already knows, is very reticent to learning new magics. There's sort of a perceived fear that learning new magics would dilute her sense of self. There's very much this idea that the magics that she performs are so core to her identity that the greatest thing she fears is the dilution of that. Not just through learning the acquirement of knowledge, but also her fears of the ways in which age dements us. Right, it hardens us, destroys us. And then Uini, more minor characters because we don't know him, of course, is just, in some ways just the poster child of like...
Well, in like 5 minutes we cram in so much. Like,
what if there was a guy who was in charge of you who was an asshole?
Yeah, exactly. The worst case scenario of the master-apprentice relationship.
I mean,
right?
it's like in all seriousness, it's so comical that it kind of makes him a little difficult to take seriously as a character.
That's the thing,
I mean,
right?
that's like Uini, right. Yeah, go ahead.
It is kind of a funny and pathetic character, like almost aggravatingly so. Like you can,
right. That's like my criticism of the writing in Witch Hat, like Red Hole, which is that like it's all very on the nose, like as literal and just flat. Flat's not the right word. Just as literally
not
presented.
A lot of nuance.
There's not, right? It is simply presented as is, and how it is presented is the way it is, and there is no like deeper exploration or subtext involved because there is no subtext, there is simply text.
And I think, like, in many ways, it's like the credit I wish I could give to Witch Hat Atelier more is I think it is trying to portray a nuanced world of magic, right? The conflict between the brimmed caps and the pointed caps, right? I mean, they allude to this in an earlier episode that we didn't get to cover, which is the a very important lesson episode about
about how Rubber Band Man is dyslexic. Like,
thank you. Yes, shout outs to Static Shock. One of the realest cartoons there ever was. But about Tarta, a friend of Coco's who is colorblind, right? And how his colorblindness has basically disqualified him from witching society. He is still a witch. He still gets to be in on the masquerade, but there is sort of this unspoken, but you will never be allowed to become one of us. Like, even if you are a part of our society, you are marked.
You are disabled.
Broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are giving you consolation prizes.
Yes. And how that episode culminates in, but he learned an important lesson, which is, that he's not handicapped. No, folks, he's handy-capable.
Thanks, Uncle.
And it's,
I'm like, I can't remember if I've made this prediction on a previous podcast, but that dude is super going evil. Like, he has incredibly Anakin Skywalker coded.
What, Tarta?
Yes. I'm just saying.
Oh, wait. Just wait for there are other characters.
Anyways, the thing I will... So the thing I will say, right, is that they're trying to add this sense of nuance of, like, look, witching society isn't perfect, right? It has a lot of problems, right? Like, we have the witch cops who are wiping out people's memories MIB style, right? We got asshole masters treating their apprentices like dog shit, right? And I think it's trying to, like, introduce this idea, oh, right, the thing I want to mention is that in that Tarta episode, they mentioned that in the past, one of the factions that opposed, like, the pointed caps were
the brimmed caps, you mean? Or...
Well, not just the brimmed cap. No. The people who opposed the pointed caps were witches who practiced medicinal magic, right? Because the pointed caps put a wholesale ban on all magic that affects the human body, and that included medicine and helping
healing
people,
magic,
right? Healing. And so part of the very foundation of witching society is they rounded up every witch doctor makes it sound bad, but every doctor witch,
every medical ninja,
wiped out their memory, right? There's very much this idea of, like, oh, maybe the brim caps might have been onto something if, like, the witches were even willing to wipe out legitimately benevolent knowledge. The problem, though, is, okay, that's an interesting bit of nuance. I wonder how it will be expressed when the brim caps sort of party crash this test.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no, the brim caps are also cackling villains.
Yes. I mean,
with no nuance whatsoever.
He's literally voiced by Frieza.
Yeah.
And also, he is literally just like a black cloak and hat, which is a little on the nose,
design,
quite fun. Like, no, it looks amazing. Yes, don't get me wrong, but like
the implication that because again, we have established we don't perform magic on the body, and now you have a seemingly bodiless witch is very much this idea like the brim caps are moving different, right? And
they are. And this sort of
we'll
plays...
discuss it when season 2 airs in 2029.
This sort of plays into one of my criticisms that has become a little bit more pointed as the show which has gone along, which is the brimmed caps just seem way more powerful and cooler and just kind of better in every way.
It's Daniel Cooler Daniel, right? Like,
yes.
There's a line in that last episode that is glossed over weirdly quickly in the anime that
it's a shame.
I thought
one
was
of my favorite lines
like,
in the manga.
Yeah, in the manga, I literally when I was reading the manga like a couple of years ago, I literally posted the page in chat and it was like, this is the hardest fucking line in the manga.
Mic drop,
right? Where the villain is like, will show the world the type of hats witches ought to wear. Right? And I'm like, damn.
It's like, so here's the thing, right? The
put on my robe and wizard hat.
To be clear, the brim caps are unsurpassed aura farmers, right? Like they are,
and I know to a certain extent, like the bad guys are always cooler, right? That is just a thing that is true in fiction.
Yeah,
I feel like the imbalance is really kind of.
I mean, I think it's somewhat telling that the only witch, like the only pointed cap witch with anything resembling like swagger is Kifrey, who is the one which they constantly hint at is maybe dabbling in dark magic.
I was gonna say, like the problem with Kifrey is that at the same time he is a huge nerd and also maybe kind of on the take in a way. So it's weird. Like I don't really know how to feel about Kifrey even after a whole season.
Kifrey gives strong like school shooter who grew up vibes.
Yes.
Like never actually went through with it, but like
has the potential within him.
Definitely had the notebooks.
Sorry,
he goes to the shooting range every week. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, which pointed cap do you think I was alluding to before I said Q?
There's just the proctor who immediately gets taken out.
Oh, Elira. No, Elira's great. I mean, she's fucking hot as hell, but also like she doesn't do shit. All right, let's be clear. She looks cool. I mean, in many ways, an aura fraud, right? She looks the part, but
it's taken out instantaneously.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's like, okay, so now we're engaged in, hey, better than Marriagetoxin, but maybe the curse that all manga, long-running manga run into, right? Of, okay, this is kind of our first kind of proper long arc, right?
Yes.
And,
the kids must deal with the threat with the adults gone.
Yes, right? And, like, on both sides of it, right? Because also Coco and Tetia, along with Kifrey, kind of fall down a comically deep pit where
they fall into Dark Souls 2 DLC, the Crown of the Golden King,
and Kifrey reminds us all helpfully, like, nice magic, nerd. Take this rock to the head.
I threw a rock at him.
Yeah, I threw a rock at him.
And then Kifrey is like,
big rock.
These guys want to kill us, and they're probably right to do so because we fucked them up real bad.
Yes.
Right, he's like, these asshole gold dudes are trying to kill us for racism because they hate all witches.
Yeah.
It's like, because witches curse them all to be eternal golden statues.
And so again, this is all stuff, and look, these things are worth, these things are worth, scrutinizing. These things are worth discussing.
Yes.
And I think overall, none of these things are like necessarily deal breakers for Hat Atelier. I think the problem is where the show stops.
You mean right in the middle of an arc with just like, it's like somebody just cut the tape.
Yes.
And like, there's not even an attempt made at a neat wrap.
It's paced like it's 26 episode show. Like, right.
Yeah, that just happens to stop at episode 13.
Yes, if I was, I'm not in the industry. I'm not a creative working on these things. But like, if I was told like you have to make episode 13 the end of the season, like I would have at least cut up this episode differently to make things more of a cliffhanger. Like that,
there are ways like
more of an emotional cliffhanger,
could be sewn into like a decent cliffhanger, but
I don't know. I might have ended on UNAB turned into a werewolf. Like,
that's at least
that felt like a way more natural climax than what actually happened.
What then Kifrey looking like he's about to say the line. What's the line? Forgive me, master, but I must use this. You know?
Right. Like instead we get like 5 minutes of like Agat and Riche like arguing over what to do next, when I feel like them arguing over what to do next should be the opener of season 2. Like,
also,
it drains a lot of the tension out of the episode.
Also, Agat just coming straight out and saying, "You're basic and I don't need you." Like,
fucking Agat.
In case you thought Agat was only mean to Coco, it's like she had to remind you, no, she's mean to all of them.
I mean, like, joking aside, though, I think one of the issues I've had with this first season, and I mentioned it, you know, a couple of episodes back as well, is that it can't seem to decide who it wants its main character to be. Like all of the coding is that Coco is the main character, but all of the actually important stuff is Agat's story, right? And it just sort of leaves the show feeling a little weirdly imbalanced in that way.
I mean, you know, it's almost like in many an iconic shonen, despite the light-haired character being the protagonist, is the dark-haired character with a dark and murky past whose internal conflicts are a greater driver of the narrative.
That's right, Vegeta.
Yes, exactly, Vegeta. No, we will never
Vegeta's quest to also become a light-haired character.
Yeah. We will never escape the specter.
Soon we'll get the Agat retrieval arc.
The Agat retrieval arc. Look, once it
receives the curse seal,
masters the what's it called? The Mangekyo Sharingan.
Mangekyo Sharingan. Chidori current. Fucking hell.
But that's the thing, right? And so I think. I do think. Here's the thing. I would never call this arc like Cave Namek or something. It's not that egregious.
They are running down Serpent Way, I will say.
They are. Like, you know, compared to like, say, you know, Marriagetoxin, where like that felt interminable despite like maybe not actually being that long. I think this arc is fine, but I think it's the kind of thing that kind of it suffers from being cut off like this. Like, I think the world in which we could kind of just look back at, you know, a little bit like maybe Dan season 2 with like, you know, Evil Eye and all that stuff, right? It's almost like, oh, this arc probably is fine viewed as a like singular 4 to 5 episode unit, but like split up like this and all, like, because here's the thing, right? You cannot separate a work from the way in which it is consumed. Like, sure, I think maybe maybe 10 years from now, people will look back on Hat Atelier and be like, I don't see what the problem was. That was a great arc. But here in 2026, where, also, to be clear, they have not announced a season 2. So,
right, I mean, it's probably...
I'm betting you they're announcing it at Anime Expo. I'm putting my... I'm slapping my $1 bill on the table and saying...
Sure, you know, and that is this weekend. By the next recording of this podcast, we will...
Yes.
I guess the point is...
bumper crop of Anime Expo reveals.
I guess the point is we definitely know it's not happening next season, so we're going to have to at least wait for another 3 to 6 months, longer.
3+ months, let's say.
Generously, it's like spring 27.
Yeah.
Like, pessimistically, I mean, you just have to look at Dorohedoro, right? I don't think it'll take that long. To be clear, you know, I mean, even Dorohedoro, they are claiming they've already started working on season 3.
They put out that trailer that has like at minimum storyboards. Like,
yes. But the problem is when you have no information whatsoever. Like,
right. There was people have cited like there was some making of thing a while back, and like if you zoom in, on a monitor in the back, like it shows like folders
the
for,
Xbox One S.
It shows folders for like episode like 20, 24, 25.
Okay. Look, I do believe it, right?
Sure, but there's no confirmation. In current state, if you are a Hat Atelier anime mega fan, you watch this anime, it's now your favorite anime. Like, there's absolutely zero confirmation of a season 2, right? Like, so.
Well,
just weird.
Very weird.
Look, and yes, we've had the conversation many times before of adapting and the choices one makes in adaptation, and like how closely one should stick to like using the manga as a storyboard and whatnot in in such things, and I think this is a prime example of like, maybe you should have moved things around or come up with like some kind of filler episode somewhere or something to just make the cut a little more bearable.
Yeah, like honestly, I could have gone for like a filler episode or two just to spend a little bit more time with the characters, right?
And that's the thing. The manga has a lot of what one might call filler, quote unquote. And some of that filler is quite narrative agnostic. Like there's
the whole cooking spinoff manga.
Yes, like there are very much ways in which, but this is always the tough thing, and I think if we want to turn this once again to addressing the current state of anime adaptations, like I think anime adaptations have become very gun shy in the last few years.
I agree,
right? Like I think that type of like narrative shifting, I think most directors or most studios are just afraid of the backlash.
I'm trying to think of like the last time I saw something like that, and like. It might be a fucking like Blood Blockade Battlefront.
Yeah,
like
maybe
I don't know.
Right?
JoJo Part 4 shifted a few things in order,
right.
like, but
just, and I mean, I do understand.
We'll say JoJo is easier because that is kind of inherently an episodic story.
Yes, exactly, right. But yeah, so right, just
yes, it is a bit of a shame because here's the thing:
everyone's become too afraid of the anime original ending.
Yes, well, because here's the thing: to be clear, right?
Like, rightly so.
If you do it badly, you are sort of stricken with the mark of Cain for the rest of your days. Like,
it's a gamble.
Like, in some ways, Full Metal Alchemist 03 has still not been forgiven 20 years later.
Oh, I don't know. People speak fondly of that thing.
Of aspects of it, for sure. Like, to be clear, my Machete watch order of Full Metal Alchemist is like the first 30 episodes of FMA 03.
Yeah.
And then you pick up...
You watch 03 until Greed appears, and then you switch.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Like, you watch until you get to Udapon's like Greed fight, and then you switch over. Like,
and then you switch over.
Like, straight up.
But the point being, right, like... bad anime original content like goes over very poorly.
Yes,
like so I do get the gun shyness.
We've all lived through the filler hell.
And you guys aren't even asking for major rework there. I mean, it's just time it better.
Just timing it differently,
off at a better place, right?
And the reason why I bring this all up, right, is because I think at the end of the day, this is still like an exemplary production. This is probably like one of the prettiest, if not the prettiest anime of this season.
Oh yeah, it looks wonderful. No denying that.
I think, it consistently looked good. I think this last episode or two looked really good. Like, I think, to be clear, I think they are bringing it where it counts. I think this production has not been, betrayed in any way in its adaptation. I think,
right,
like, all this criticism you are listening to may be a moot point in like 5 years. Who knows? It's just.
But we are simply representing the thoughts of the time.
Yes.
I do think it's funny how, like, whenever they want to show somebody powering up or like going into a sick sequence,
just goes manga mode.
Yeah, I was going to say they just turn into the manga. It's like
the manga
art's really good.
it's like Witch Hat Atelier and Bride Story, and then it's a power gap, and everything else is below it, right? Like it's
because Miura's dead. Like,
yes. Well, Berserk would have been there too, of course. But yes, it is a luxurious manga, and I think the anime does an exemplary job of trying to capture the spirit of it.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would say is that, like, I enjoyed it just fine. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I like what we've seen of the characters. I just, and maybe this is my fault for like listening to the hype. I think I was expecting a little bit more. I think I was expecting something with a little more teeth, perhaps.
Sure.
That's a very vague.
No, I understand.
I know. And again, a part of that is just me listening to the hype, so to speak. But yes, I hope that future seasons, assuming they happen, which they will, it will kind of give us a bit more to work with there.
I was meaning to ask, like, do you feel like some of your criticisms from early on have been addressed? Like,
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I know you were like worried that was like, oh, this is a little bit like skeevy about focusing on a bunch of like kid girls, but
Yeah, no, I think that they have done, like you telling me that the mangaka was a woman sort of removed some of
okay,
my
yeah,
weird fear of that. But also, like by focusing on, by giving Tato a focus episode and stuff, I think that they have addressed any fears I had about
okay,
that kind of
good.
stuff, So yeah,
I'm glad. Yeah.
I certainly, certainly that criticism I think was ill founded in the end.
No worries.
There,
Yeah.
my major critiques at this point are just, I would like a little more substance from the show, really.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I feel like it will definitely come back. It just when, right?
It's pretty high profile, yeah.
I feel like you don't end the season this way if you're not confident you'll get to pick it up at some point.
That's
right?
there's that too, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully it won't be 6 years from now, but we'll see.
On that railgun schedule.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on and talk about Demons of the Shadow Realm.
What? Speaking of Fullmetal Alchemist 03, I guess.
Yeah, Yomi no Tsugai, if you will.
We know two guys.
This is directly continuing into next
yes,
season,
it took it took a break this week
off,
but like many shows that continue take a week off between seasons, so that's normal. But yes, it is continuing directly into next season.
So how are you guys feeling on this one as we go into season?
Gee, how are you feeling about this one? As somebody who has not read the manga, does not know exactly what's coming up.
Well, look, I read some of them.
Well, yeah, but you're entering the zone where you've not.
We are now fully entering uncharted territory for me, which is exciting. But I'm continuing to have a very good time with Yomi no Tsugai. I think again, many of the issues I think I had with it at the time were. I think as a, it's, I'm not going to go over all of it, right? But I think it's just like, at the time it was sort of I kind of perceived lack of visual sauce, a more generic setting, less of a confident sense of a new world, and also just being right off the bat, Yomi no Tsugai is a much more complex narrative.
I think at this point like the stuff I was trying to say early on of like it's so much more complex is starting to take form. Right, and that's like.
Right. Well, I mean, it was already there even when I was still reading. Right. I think it's just that I think some of the aspects of the way the manga communicated that information was harder to keep up with. But I think here in the anime they've done a pretty good job. Even if again part of that complexity is I cannot name huge portions of this show's cast, which is to be clear, that happened to Full Metal Alchemist. We were just joking the other day. Look, I can name drop Kimberly any day of the week. I don't remember the name.
Kimberly. That other State Alchemist is just the Monopoly guy. You asked me his name. I don't fucking know. He's the Monopoly guy.
Dude, I can't even even when I made that joke about the fact that Kimberly kind of gets no diffed by a lion. I can't even remember that dude's name.
I was going to say, who can remember the names of the two random beast men who hang about for ages, way longer than you'd think?
Heinkel? Was one Heinkel?
Maybe
you can make all the guesses you want. I don't know the answer.
But anyways, I digress. So I think now, is Yomi no Tsugai the next Full Metal Alchemist?
Probably not.
No.
What is?
Pretty firmly no. I think, but is this a sort of pleasant return to form for one of the greatest mangaka to ever do it? Yes, I think it is comfortable to exist in the world of Hiromu Arakawa, right? These characters are charming in the way she writes characters, right? They are fun and they are eye-catching and they do cool things in likable ways. And I think even when things are not as iconic or impactful as maybe something in Full Metal Alchemist, I think broadly Yomi no Tsugai gets to exist and operate in a very comfortable baseline, right? I mean, I'll put it this way, right? A great example of this, for better or worse, right, is like, look, I remembered them because it was the last thing I remember reading before I fell off, right? But it's like,
long arm, long leg. Like,
look, you compare long arm and long legs' design to like literally any state alchemist, and like, it's a pretty bad comparison, right? It's two naked guys with long limbs compared to like,
but the Monopoly guy.
Yeah, or I mean, or you know, more generously, like a Scar or something. You know,
sure,
like,
right.
You know,
I'm trying to think of a one-off villain,
like a one-off Full Metal Alchemist villain.
Barry
the Chopper.
The thing is, Barry Chopper's not at all one-off. Is the problem? The problem.
Barry the Chopper is the main character of the story.
Right. I guess one of the things about Full Metal Alchemist is there were almost no one-off villains.
Right, and like that's the thing that made it fun, right? You know, like I mean,
Dr.
Cordello,
I don't know, like, or Father Cordello,
yeah, sure, yeah, you know, like, look, man, that dude was great in 03, you know, like, you know, and maybe that's a thing, right? Is that like, fucking, I can like kind of just. Like, we could just sit here, just like, I don't know, just name a random Full Metal Alchemist character, and you go, hell yeah.
But also, we were like 14, you know, like,
you know, I don't know, Grand Bosk, the Iron Blood Alchemist. Remember that dude?
Okay, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
dude.
I guess.
Remember how, like, when they committed, like, remember when they fragged their commanding officer, and in the flashback, Grand Bosk is like, we're just gonna pretend this didn't happen, okay? Like,
God.
Like some random one-off dude who just gets fucking murdered by Scar to back alley. I can still remember him basically being like, we're all just going to agree. Nobody saw what happened to our commanding officer, right?
So when you guys say this is not up to par with Full Metal Alchemist, is it because it's just not as good, or is it maybe that is it treading ground you've already covered? Is it what Iro said, you were 14 back then? Like,
it's a little bit of everything.
A little bit all of that?
I think it's just like on every conceivable metric, whatever like level or score that Full Metal Alchemist is operating at, Yomi no Tsuge is like 1 to 2 points lower.
Okay.
Right. And part of that is just struck gold with Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know. Like,
I think maybe the one thing Yomi no Tsugai has going for it is that Left is probably the hottest woman Hiromu Arakawa has ever designed.
Okay, we have to officially stop being horny on main podcast.
Okay, but no. We're talking about Left.
It took a while to get to like Olivier Armstrong, and like she was not there very much. So Left.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. Like, look, we could all talk about yes.
She did not
Olivier Armstrong or Izumi Curtis, but like, you know,
yes, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, anyways, though, in all seriousness, right? I think
does Izumi Curtis count as a MILF after the incident?
Oh,
sorry, I just had to get that jab in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's not a nice thing to say.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Apologize to Izumi Curtis.
Look, I was just checking market availability.
I had to get the jab in.
Yes.
Look, the classics. Anyway,
she calls herself a housewife. You know,
yeah,
like.
But, anyway.
But no, I think Yomi no Tsugai is very charming, and I think it is very well done. And I think even if the anime is not full of the sort of typical hype moments and aura, as the kids put it, I think it exists in a very like competent, 7 out of 10, 4 out of 5 like realm, like consistent, like.
You see, you've proven the efficacy of my system by. You've instantly, though you said 7 out of 10, however, you instantly sorted Yomi no Tsugai into 4 out of 5 and not 3 out of 5. You see.
I could not give anything Hiromu Arakawa makes a 3 out of 5. Are you insane?
See?
Here's the thing, because here's the thing, right? Because is Yomi no Tsugai better than Silver Spoon, which is also a 7 out of 10, 3 or 4 out of 5 star manga? Like,
I feel like there's a difference between a 7 out of 10 and a 4 out of 5 as well.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There is. Yeah. But however, by immediately jumping to 4 out of 5.
I feel like a 4 out of 5 is more of an 8 out of 10. But.
Well, yes, mathematically. But what you're always arguing is that emotionally, a 5-star scale forces you to immediately
it forces you to make tough
difference.
Choices. Right?
Anyway.
I feel like we have drifted off topic.
We go a bit. I'm sorry.
Okay, and anyways, I think And I do think maybe and Iro can maybe speak to this a little more. I will say to its my defense is that Yomi no Tsugai feels like a little bit of a slow burn, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like it is slowly sort of putting these pieces in place. In many ways, Fullmetal Alchemist was also a little bit of a slow burn, right? Like that was mostly just evil state alchemist of the week for a bit, right? Like and so that's not necessarily a failing of Yomi no Tsugai either. I think it's just
we are moving like incredibly, but by the standards of modern manga adaptations, we're moving like incredibly slowly. It's really funny to me.
Like this might be one of the slowest paced adaptations of maybe anything we've watched in some time.
Yeah, in like
what did you say it was? Like after 12 episodes, we are at chapter 16.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like the start of chapter 16, right? Like something like that.
So that is like 1.1 chapter per episode.
That's slow. That is.
And
slow.
what that and charitably, if one were to be quite charitable,
it's a monthly.
Yes, it's monthly, and that shows like Arakawa's like skill in pacing out monthly chapters of her story.
Yes.
Where each monthly installment has a natural arc to it, but yes, like by modern anime standards, it's moving like comically slow. Yeah. Like Sengoku Yoko had to fit like 100 chapters into like 36 episodes or something, right?
Jesus
like,
Christ,
and so yes, but yeah, I think G at this point you can see more effectively like yes what I was trying to get at with like the factions and who's doing what and why is like much more complex and like kind of up in the air and in question compared to
like I am legitimately enjoying it, right? And I think this next arc that which seems to be building up to like this is kind of the first quote unquote big arc of Yomi no Tsugai here, right? Is basically in the ways that Hiromu Arakawa's want to do. A very hot, problematic man with 2 katanas has showed up.
Okay.
And
voiced by James from Pokemon.
Yes, and he has infiltrated Yuru's village and seems like he's basically just going to start killing people, en masse.
However, we have also seen because he was involved in the attack on the Kagomori Manor, he is not affiliated with the Kagomoris.
Right.
So,
and we are also getting the hinted implication that obviously that Yuru's own village is also like maybe not entirely on the level.
Right. They confirmed that like some of the assassins sent to kill Yuru, like throughout his life, they were not all just from the Kagomoris. Like many of them were sent by Higashi Village because he has to die to claim the magic power. And so they were like, well, we should kill him to get the power.
And so there is a bit of an interesting and complex like conflict we're leading up to here, right? Where this man is, like, to be clear, like Gabby before, killing seemingly innocent people, right? Or at least look, I'm sure Iroh's like smiling smug. You think they're innocent, don't you? Like, no, to be clear,
it's pretty fucking like violent and
whatever the crimes these people may have purported to have commit that will be revealed to me next season. Is that worthy
should they be cut up by like a twunk with katanas? Like,
yes, like that. That is the question, right? But the fact is that is the question, and that is sort of what they're building up to in an interesting way. Is the idea that like, and to be clear, this assassin is being sent by the Kagomori.
He's not,
or a
like in some ways, like. The thing is, it's like who represents the Kagomoris at this point, right?
He is being sent by a Kagomori.
He is affiliated with people who are affiliated with one of the Kagomoris, and who can say how much Jin Kagomori or whatever is like aligned with the others and whatnot, and like these questions are like what I was referring to,
But that's the point I'm getting at, right? Is that there is this interesting, crunchy complexity to this conflict, and so while I will look forward to the cool moment when left and right just like put this fucking double katana fuckboy into the hell's wheel, like. I will also be behind all that, be thinking, man, yeah, what is going on in
What
the like
is going
interplay
on?
between this
Yeah.
village and the outsiders?
Who should I trust? Actually,
Yes.
maybe
All right,
nobody.
so there's a little more going on here than
Yes.
some
Yeah,
of
I
the
know.
other-
Like many podcasts ago, like I don't know. Yeah, we were referring to like Gabby specifically, and Jell was like, "Oh no, do they redeem her?" And it's like, no, not really. Like, it's just like we don't
do
like
they,
we
though?
don't like go after her either. But like, it's not like she is
Was it the
constantly
little
on the side
blonde
of
girl that
good.
murdered
Yeah.
everybody in the first
Yeah,
episode?
she did like bite them in half and stuff, but like, it's not like she goes through a, like, now I'm your unequivocal ally or whatever, right? It's
right.
It is more you are a psychopath we tolerate, I guess.
right. It's like she's like affiliated with Asa, who's affiliated with Kagomori's, but it's not, which is not necessarily affiliated with like Yuru and the and right. I don't know. It's this like weird
Well, it kind of
character.
gets to this interesting
It's this
thing
weird
of,
character
like-
web that like I find interesting that
Right,
like
because the thing
might
the
not
thing-
work
the
for
interesting-
other people. I don't know.
Well, I think the interesting thing, like, and I don't want to like drag this too long, but it's like I think the interesting thing about what Yoma no Tsugai does with its characters, right, is that it sort of recognizes that every person in its story has both a like a personal and organizational allegiance,
Mhm.
and so like for a character like Gabby, it's like you are a heartless murderer working
Yes.
for the Kagamoris.
Yes, how, like,
and so that is
right.
one aspect of you.
However, also
are
you're very protective of Asa, and so like I can trust you to take care of Asa specifically.
right, and so it's like I still do not trust you when it comes to say the preservation of human
Yes.
life.
If it became an Asa versus Kagomori's thing, then your allegiance would once again be in question, right? Like
Yes, but like, and I think that's what also honestly makes Yuru so like fun and interesting of a protagonist as well. Because like you look at this dude and you're like, it's been a long time, Edward Elric. It's good to see you again. But like, he has a like pretty like pragmatic mean streak to him in a way that actually I kind of appreciate.
He's like, if you try to
right?
kill me, I'll kill you. If
Yeah,
you don't try
like,
to kill,
straight
if you
up,
don't
right?
try to kill me, then I don't give a shit.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very transactional in an interesting way.
Mhm.
It sounds like he's not the classic. I'm going to win everybody over with the power of friendship. Nobody
Right. I
knows.
think there are a lot of shonen protagonists of like, I'll never, killing bad, war is bad. I'll never kill anybody. I'll shoot to disable. And yours
Shoot
like
him in the leg. 'cause that
and
would-
yours like, if you try to kill me, I'm going to kill you.
Right, like his logic is almost like refreshingly like straightforward, and it is that he simply returns the level of animosity directed at him.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
I fired a warning shot. Don't make me kill you.
the classics. Yeah. But yes. Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah. Guru will
Yep.
kill a motherfucker. Just
Yep.
Yeah.
So that show is continuing, of course. So we'll have
Yes.
time to talk about it ongoing into next season with
yeah.
whatever shows we end up watching. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
I hear I know you didn't go to it, Zig, but I hear Ghost in the Shell has aired in some form in like theaters
Yes.
and such over there.
Yes, I've heard almost universally great praise for it.
Cool.
nice.
that's good. But also, hey, first episodes are often good. This
Yes.
is always
That's
the dangerous
true.
thing.
Yes.
This was the first two, but after like seeing G-Quacks in the theatre, I was a little burned on paying money to go and see stuff that will appear on TV.
That's
Oh,
fair.
man. Just imagine me going to see the G-Quacks thing and never watched the original Gundam.
Yes.
But yes, anyway, that'll do it then for spring 2026.
Yeah.
And on to what the
See you next mission.
the 14th, or well, it would be year 15 of GLORIO,
Ugh.
our 14th anniversary coming
Ugh.
up very quickly here.
Right,
So-
summer season is our anniversary
Yep.
season.
Yep, we'll talk about that next time, but that's going to do it for this episode. So let's just do our housekeeping. You can check us out at theglorioblog.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky at the Glorio Blog. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all those good things. Tell us your favorite show, spring 2026. if it wasn't on this list or whatever. But and tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch everybody next time.